Okay, we're live. Welcome everyone to the Yunus and You final pitch competition. This is the second session of our fellowship competition. Okay, sorry. No, yeah. So this is the second session of our pitch competition. I'm so excited to have you all here. It's with great pleasure that I receive everyone today. My name is Marcela. I'm the program director of Yunus and Youth. I'm based in Brazil, and I'm super excited to have you all with us. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. And without further ado, let's start. So before we present the fantastic entrepreneurs that will be here with us today, I'm going to share a little bit about Yunus and Youth and our program. So Yunus and Youth was founded in 2014 with the support of Nobel Peace Prize laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus. We exist to empower young leaders to build, develop, and expand social businesses that promote economic advancement and reduce unemployment around the world. Since 2014, we have worked with over 8,000 young people in 76 countries, impacting over 25 million people. Our community is diverse, based all around the world. We represent 56 different nationalities. 1 in 7 identifies as LGBTQIA. More than 2/3 are people of color, and more than half are female founders. The YY Fellowship is a highly customized program for passionate young social entrepreneurs around the world that is accessible from wherever they are and work. This program is based in 4 main pillars. The first one is mentoring. The second one is an on-demand training that is available online for them, including live training sessions. The third is the beautiful Yunus and Youth community that provides support and networking as well. And the fourth is today. So today is the final pitch competition. This is the very moment where I want to thank all of our incredible mentors. I see many of them here with us today. They have worked with the fellows for 6 months, and they come from companies from Citi, from Goldman Sachs, and from GE as well. So thank you so much to our partners and incredible mentors. So today is the day. So this is the opportunity for fellows to present their pitch decks, their new business plans that they have been working hard for the past 6 months. They received a lot of feedback. They had many training sessions. They practiced a lot. And this is the final day where we will see their presentations, celebrate the ending of a beautiful journey. And of course, we have prizes, because who doesn't like prizes, right? So today, each one of the fellows will have 5 minutes to present, and then 5 minutes to answer questions from our judges. The 3 pitches that receive the highest scores from the judges will be awarded. So the 3 best pitches from both sessions. And then for each session, we have a favorite pitch from the audience. So we'll be sharing a link for you to vote. In the end of the session, we'll share this link. Everyone will be able to vote, and we'll see who's the favorite from the audience. So we also, we're doing this session on Zoom, but we are also live streaming via YouTube for all your friends and family to watch from all over the world. How will our entrepreneurs be evaluated today? So we'll be scoring them on 8 criteria. These are, we want to understand how well does their plan show an understanding of the market, if the idea is addressing a real problem in the community, if there's a unique solution that has a value proposition that is better, faster, cheaper, simpler, or better quality than the competitors. We also want to understand if they know their positioning against their competitors, if there are any barriers to enter. Can the business make money? Is there a scaling strategy? We also, of course, because this is a social impact competition of social businesses, we want to understand if they know the key metrics they will be evaluating, and in the end, we also want to check their storytelling and presentation skills. So this will be the 8 criteria the judges will be scoring the fellows in our forms. And these are the amazing judges that are here with us today. I want to thank all of you again, because this is an incredible job that you're doing. And so today we have Fida from Jordan here, Shruti from the United Kingdom, Otávio from Brazil, Pratim from France, Padmini from India, and Vasily from South Africa. So thank you all. Thank you so much to all the judges. It's a great, great, great excitement for all of us at the Yunus and Youth team. I think this is the moment we have been waiting for so long, so we get super excited for this. And we're going to start now with our pitches. Who is the first one? Let me get my timer here. So you'll have 5 minutes to present and 5 minutes to answer questions. So Bruni and Lara from Arca Fine Arts.
Hi, everyone.
Can we start?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. We are Lara and Bruni, co-founders of...
Just a second.
Sorry?
Share your screen.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep. Sorry.
Don't worry.
There you are.
Can you all see it now?
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to start now. Perfect. Hi again, everyone. We are Lara and Bruni, co-founders of Arca Fine Arts, and we kindly ask you to close your eyes as we guide you through a journey. We want you to imagine that you are experiencing strong economic and social hardship in your country, and that there is no work, even for skilled and experienced professionals. The only option available is to cross the border and seek for a better life in Brazil. You left your 6-year-old son with your parents because you couldn't afford the flight tickets. You are only carrying the clothes that you wear. You have to move fast, otherwise you'll miss the car waiting for you in the border. There's a guy telling you to run, and you run like crazy for almost 4 kilometers in the deep darkness of the rainforest. And now we want you to open your eyes. And this is not a fictional story. This is the story of Neiris, a Black woman, a mom, and a trained accountant from Cuba. This is a real experience to forced migration in Latin America happening day in and day out on the Brazilian border. If you didn't know, there are 1.5 immigrants and refugees that came to Brazil in the last decade, leaving their country due to political and economical catastrophes. And half of them are women, especially from countries such as Venezuela, Cuba, and Haiti. Female Venezuelans are 75% less likely to be employed in the formal job sector in Brazil compared to an average Brazilian female. And then as a consequence, forced migration often excludes people from society and places them in situations of prejudice and distrust. Some consequences are communication difficulties, a lack of documentation, lack of knowledge on their rights, and this all leads to precarious work and low income when they arrive in their new country. And we are here to change this. So we are Arca, and we provide a 6-month incubation journey so that migrant women learn how to take photos. We want to use this as a way to accelerate their social and cultural inclusion in their new country. Why photography? We think is a cheap way and impactful way to create and communicate stories. It's rapid to learn and easy to teach relatively, and it's a playful way to integrate them in their new local culture. So our process starts with a selection. The migrant women are selected in migration centers, and they are paid to learn creative skills. And then we go from the training where they connect with each other, exchange cultures, and learn new skills in photography workshops. We curate and produce the images in a collection every semester. And after this, the images are sold via an e-commerce to richer economies in the global north. And at the end of it, we want to strengthen connection and advocacy with videos about their living stories who are part of the product. And women are also connected to the job market to find employment in their areas of interest.
And as you may have seen, everyone has changed with the pandemic. as so as the home decor market. Consumers, they want to consume more connected to the ethical values that they carry. And also the decor market is skyrocketing since people are staying more time indoors and refurnishing their homes more frequently. Our product comes with a QR code that shows the story of the person that took the picture. We've been doing research for 3 years, and our pricing strategy was validated with financial experts in Citibank. We also did benchmark with Lensational, a partner in Asia, and we benchmarked with the core stores in London when we were doing our master's degrees there. We saw that this kind of work, without any social value added to it, costs £70 to £400, considering the size. And at the moment, we need 3K to pilot our digital strategy marketing. To every $125 invested directly in the project, one woman gets access to 8 sessions of photography. They get payment, and to get a new cohort of immigrants, we need 1,000.
So we have crafted a theory of change and our logical model with the 5 dimensions module. It is divided in economics, social, and advocacy. So all the participants receive a fixed commission, they develop skills, they become part of a support network, and they lower feelings of isolation. And with this, we want to increase visibility for migrant women. And then finally, our team, we all did our masters in the UK, so we were all migrants at some point. We have one of our co-founders who is a PhD researcher in London at the University of Westminster, researching migration. And this is one of our participants, actually. This is a testimony that now, I'm going to read it quickly. Now I know how to use the camera, and this learning will continue with me in my life, thanks to the project. My biggest dream is to bring my son, who is waiting for me in Cuba, and I feel that now I'll be able to accomplish it through my work. And this is Nadi's, the story that I was telling you at the beginning. So thank you. We are looking for investors for ARCA.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations, Bruni and Lara. You did a great job. And now I just want to remind the judges that this is the moment where I open the floor for you to ask questions. And at the same time, you will be giving the scores on the form that I shared with all of you. So I now give the floor to the judges. You can raise your hand if you want to ask a question, and I'll call your name. Perfect. Vasily, thank you.
Thank you, Marcela, and thank you to the ARCA Fine Arts team. Excellent, excellent presentation. My question, I didn't get it. Sorry, have you piloted this already? Have you actually done a project? I mean, you had the person from Cuba speaking. How many students have gone through your program already?
So we did a small pilot version of it. We had 8 migrant women with us, and we produced the pictures, and they're already up in the e-commerce. But we have yet to finalize the sale process because we don't have the funds for digital marketing strategy yet. So it's not enough to just put an e-commerce online and not properly market. So we had to do a pilot project to visualize that it was physically possible for them to learn how to take pictures and to produce good content and for us to curate the collection. So this work has all been done already.
Just a
and
quick
they have
follow-up.
been paid for the workshops.
That's great. Thank you. And just one quick follow-up question. You guys are based in the UK at the moment. Is the plan to go back to Brazil and implement this project once the funding is received?
Yeah, we are actually in Brazil, in southern Brazil. It's a little bit chilly here.
Yeah, we are in Brazil.
We are in Brazil already, and all the working connections are here in Brazil.
The workshops were held here because Porto Alegre, which is where we're based right now, it's receiving a lot of immigrants. So that's also why we're based here.
Mm-hmm. And we have connections in the UK because of our masters as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call Fida now because her Zoom's not raising hands, but Fida, please go ahead.
Yeah, technical challenges. Thank you for asking the question. I wanted to also inquire about if they've piloted this already, but another follow-up question is, do you have any idea about what capacity can your team can your team manage, and what are you planning to do in case you receive funding and there's more demand? How can you increase the capacity, and how can this help you scale? What would you do to scale?
Thank you for your question, Fida. We are planning to scale. Can I share this with you very quickly? We also validated the business model and the marketing strategy with our mentors from Citi. And we see that with the digital strategy, we can reach an audience of 200,000 sessions in the e-commerce, and that can help us break even. So if you consider this very conservative index, the 0.2% conversion rate, is super low. So we are very careful to break even with a very low number of audience. So we see an opportunity when ARCA is word of mouth. We just need to reach this small target to break even, and then replicate the business in different areas of Brazil and other countries as well.
Great. Now we have Pratim.
Thank you guys for this wonderful presentation and a great introduction on ARCA Fine Arts. I have a question on the sales strategy that you have. So how would you actually streamline your product's value to meet your clients' expectation in the market?
So in terms of client expectations, we did a little bit of research in like high decor stores in London when we were still living there. And we realized that there's not a lot of fine art products that connect with an impact. It's mainly based on aesthetics from what we researched. So we believe there's a gap there that we can fill of like connecting with those people who want to consume those conscious goods per se, and even start these conversations in those environments. So we are focusing mostly on B2C, like focusing on conscious consumers, but we also know that there is space for B2B, like providing for other companies, even for like hotels or construction companies. So that work is attached to them. And then for that, we also need the money for digital marketing, because otherwise like people won't know that we exist. So we need to be seen per se, and we need to make them seen through this. Does that answer the question? I think so.
Perfect.
Great. And now we have one last question from Otavio.
Well, thanks for the presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear.
Okay, great. Just for an understanding, a better understanding of the proposition that you're doing, the idea is for the students of your programs will learn how to take pictures, and then they will be able to sell photos for companies. That's the idea of generating income for those people based on selling pictures?
So one thing so we did some research on like the immediate problems that female migrants find when they come to Brazil. And one of the main ones is like immediate income, like they need money right away because sometimes they only bring the clothes that they wear. So ARCA is here to sort of provide that support socially and financially. So they get paid to attend the training, and then they produce the images so that we can sell them through our e-commerce. And then afterwards, we want to sort of insert them in the local context in a network so that they can find work that they want to, not the only work that is available, and then sort of contributing to this whole circle of precarity, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
thank you. Can I add something? And also, in the end of the program, we would like to connect them with the local ecosystem of businesses, so they can also find employment in the end. They get the cultural knowledge to be included in society, which is super important. Like for example, when we think of Neiris, she came from Cuba, a country with another economic system. When she arrives in Brazil, she doesn't even know how to be an entrepreneur here. So she needs all the guide to understand the culture, which is super important. It's a systemic problem with different patterns. And we are thinking to prioritize the urgent needs, and at the first they need to be connected, and then connect again with the work.
Just one thing that we forgot to mention, all of the images that you saw in the presentation were pictures that they took. So good to mention that.
Awesome, great start. Bruni and Lara, there's also a question in the chat for you, but I'll leave you to answer it there, so we can move on to our next presenter. And judges, please remember to complete the scoring in our form. Next, we have Naila presenting Art Changemakers Academy.
Hi, I will start
Hello.
presenting. So, can you wait a little second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Naila Periamachi. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Lima, Peru. I'm the founder of Art Changemakers, and we are. So let me start by asking you, what do you think is the most important part about this art installation? The birds, the tree, the river. If you think some of them, let me tell you that you may be wrong. Now let me present you the artist behind this piece. He is Nelson. He is 9 years old, and he's from the Peruvian highlands, specifically from the Cusco region of Peru. He, similarly to millions of students around Latin America and Peru, face barriers that present a latent danger for his development. Access to quality education depends on socioeconomic status and location, and same as other school students, he, because of his age, is vulnerable to any social risks that might surround him. But let's come back to the art piece. Let me tell you that the most important part is invisible to the eye. Do you know the students with high art participation and low socioeconomic status have a dropout rate of 5 times lower than their low socioeconomic status peers? Brain research also showed that music and art education not only improves math and reading skills, but also fosters creativity, social development, personality adjustment, and self-esteem. When art education is administered equitably, the academic gap between low-income and high-income students begins to close. Art is present as a tool to mitigate those barriers. Unfortunately, art education is neither economically accessible, equal, and nor decentralized. Nelson, similarly to millions of students around Peru, might never have an opportunity to be impacted by art. We Art was born because of kids like Nelson, who wish to have an opportunity to dream through art. It's a virtual art non-profit education program that allows students to have the benefit of art, decentralizing access to art education while supporting the talents and creating a community of young artists around Latin America. Since our first edition of We Art in 2020, we have run 3 programs with an impact in 114 students, 300 impact hours, and a net promoter score of 100% during our 2021 edition. And the impact we create is self-recognized by our students and parents, as you can see. But we also have recognized difficulties that present a latent barrier to make a continued and sustainable impact throughout this time with this nonprofit model. That is why we need the support of a new program. Let me introduce you to the We Art Academy. Our institution works along with Art Changemakers, a sister nonprofit organization that connects volunteers to students from all Latin America as an introductory presentation of art. Differently, the We Art Academy constitutes 3 months visual art academic education with a business model. With the tuition, we allow free students to access a scholarship based on demonstrated commitment, economic need, and potential. And this is how our model works. A student from We Art Academy with a $35 monthly has access to weekly art life workshop, to mentoring, to community meetings, and to newsletter with opportunities. And although the market of art education has not been studied yet in Peru, we can say that there are 5 million students around Peru. From those, 1 million have the economic access to afford a private education, and from those, there are 700,000 who has a reliable internet access to access the classes. Referring to our competitors, we have the online art courses, the virtual academy, and the traditional academy. And We Art covers the fundamental points of a student art needs. It's affordable, you have access to a community and interaction with your peers, you have interaction and feedback from teachers, and access to a newsletter with growth opportunities that you can apply to. Let me show you what we have done until now. In 2020, we started with 2 courses, 1 country and 22 students. In July 2021, we had 13 teachers and 51 students. In February this year, we ran our first summer program with 31 students from 6 different countries in Latin America who were only from previous edition of We Art. And in February this year, we also won a prize in the Metropolitan Contest of Good Practices organized by the Municipality of Lima. In July 2022, with your help, we seek to implement our first edition of the new We Art Academy. With an initial investment of $2,000, the impact of We Art will be expanded with the We Art Academy, reaching 27 Academy enrolled students, 14 We Art students, and 3 scholarship holders with the We Art Academy program. Our teams conformed by volunteer college students and 7 art professional teachers as advisors that work along with art change makers. An expression of art can change a life. Help us create the future we want in Latin America through art. Thank you.
Thank you, Naila. Beautiful presentation. Congratulations. Now I'll open the floor for our judges to ask her questions. Shruti, please.
I was waiting, but I can go first. I've got 2 questions. Great presentation. Thank you so much. The first one, could you just walk me through your pricing model and your pricing strategy and revenue model? I'm trying to understand sort of scalability and potentially the use of the funds that you're going to be getting in, say, July. And then I've got a second question, but I'll hang on for you to answer this first.
Yeah, actually, I can show you. Yeah, we have the first inversion that we will be focusing on expanding our market, get us to know through social media, which is the platform where students reach out to us, same as parents. We'll be also contracting the teacher for developing the first curriculum, and also acquiring some digital tools that we need for our program to work, such as Zoom and Drive, part of storage. So I think those will be the first investment we will need for running the first edition. And from that, we will reach our break-even point in month 13 with the 3rd edition of the program.
Sorry, and can I just confirm, what is your revenue stream? I wasn't very sure about that. Who's paying for this exactly?
Yeah, the ones that are paying the We Art Academy are the parents that just matriculate their school sons. So they are our main focus during the We Art Academy, differently from our other programs.
All right, great. I've just got one other question. I saw your NPS scores and impact hours and really nice metrics, especially at such an early stage. I'm wondering, do you have any sort of impact metrics you're thinking of measuring in the later stages to really see the effect of the intervention?
Yeah, referring to that, the change and getting to know how to metric, we have started with juniors and youth. So we didn't have like such metrics until now, but in the future, we seek for our program to have an initial evaluation and a second evaluation at the end of the program, in which we will see how students perceive themselves. This is for the We Art nonprofit model, and how parents also perceive how their kids have been developed throughout this program. So that will be basically our main way to measure the impact we have on the students.
Great, thank you.
Great. Now, Pratim, please.
Thank you for the presentation, Naila. It was lovely. I would like to know on the pricing strategy again. So how would you say that your pricing model has a competitive edge over your rivals?
Yeah, I can show you.
Sure.
Wait a second. Here it is. So as I said before, our pricing is affordable in comparison with other art learning opportunities. In Domestika, for example, we have a $10 course, but the course is only 2 hours or 3 hours of content. And it also, like the other virtual academy, is a little bit, it is $40 in comparison with ours. And the traditional art academies you found, at least in Peru, are around the price of $162 per month. So what we want to do is also not only to access art education, but also to have an affordable prices for students that can access also to this program.
Yeah, just a follow-up question. So have you considered of having that flexibility that you would consider charging for an hourly basis or a daily basis instead of only being monthly, like being very rigid? So is there any flexibility on that of offering to the students?
Yeah, can you also, like, you're referring to a total cost of the program in one package? Yeah, that is basically the idea, but we put in like in months to compare it to other art programs. So the total cost will be around $90, 100 of the total program of 3 months.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so much, Naila. You did a great job. And next we'll have Fábrica dos Sonhos that will be presented by Herbert.
Hi, hello. I share the screen here. Just a moment. Okay. So I've been talking to one farmer nearby me, and I asked him for tips for this presentation, and he said to me, wear a hat. So wearing a hat that he gave me, so just to give me energy and good luck. So my name is Herbert, and I'm from Fábrica dos Sonhos, the Dream Factory. And we have been working together with Miriam, that she's my wife. She's in the hospital today, so take care of her dad. That's why she's not here. 6 years ago, basically, we founded the Fábrica dos Sonhos, and we start realizing other people's dream as our social project. And 2 years ago, we decided that we have to do our own dream come true. And our own dream was like to plant and seed our own food. And then we decided to move to a rural area. And when we get here, like this is our house there, we discovered 2 important things. The first one is that we know nothing about it. Basically, we cannot plant anything, like we are not good at this. It's like a lot of hard work. But we discovered also that we're good with people. And the second thing that we learned is that there is a lot of people here doing a lot of good work and putting their bloods on it, and they actually needing help. So one of these people that we met was our friend Edna. She's a neighbor. And Edna, she delivers food for more than 70 people here, delivering baskets. And 1 month ago, the doctor said to her that she will not be able to move her arms anymore because she's working too hard. And she has to stop her work. And then we start like asking like why Edna is suffering this, you know, like she's a business person, like she's selling to someone, she's giving profit. And then we discover like there is a problem called the middleman. And the middleman is like the heart of the problem of Edna's. And the middleman is full of distrust in the relationships. Edna is just making the ends meet, and she's full of financial insecurity because of that. So we created the project called Abraços da Mantiqueira. Mantiqueira is the region that we are living from, like, and the translation is hugs from Mantiqueira. So we want to hug every single small family farmer here. And it's a project from our organization called the Dream Factory. We are trying to change the distrust that they have in these middlemen to a community, and making the ends meet in actually realizing the dreams of the small farmers like Edna, and transforming the financial insecurity into sustainable growth. and we are becoming good middlemen actually. So we are trying to make the small farmers' dreams come true, and they are a bunch of different dreams, of course. And we are creating a more sustainable market of food based on communal relationships. We are selling more quality and more sustainable goods and services, and we're improving small farmers' lives and consumers' health. And our secret is community. So we don't need to speak like with a lower voice for that, because like community is actually a big secret that everybody has to use it. And like we are trying to create actually meaningful relationships with those farmers, so we actually can have business with them and to the consumers as well. And what we discovered from our consumers in the market research we did last year is basically that the consumers want healthy, traceable, and meaningful food. So healthy because they want to know where the food comes from. It doesn't matter if it's organic or not. They just want to know if the food is good for them. Traceable because they want to know where it comes from as well. And meaningful because they want to know that if they are buying something, that is actually generating some impact for those families. So in order to deliver that, we created a model that basically consists like we are mapping all the farmers in the region, talking to them, creating relationships with them, community with them, and then we are buying directly from them. And then we are trying to sell to those people that actually want this transformation also. So we are doing that by creating community. We are using virtual reality. I'm going to explain later. And also we are engaging with these consumers so they can participate in the life of the small farmers as well. So we are using two different strategies. We are using our website and WhatsApp business channels to sell. And we also trying to deliver baskets to the consumers. At the same time, we are selling just like small items in our online markets, be in the business on WhatsApp business or the website. And basically, we are taking a margin of profit from 10 to 50%. That's a lot of different from the usual middleman. And we basically are paying all the business costs. That's our salaries. That for now we have like just 3 people working. And we are reinvesting all the profits on the small farmers, be by giving them teaching lessons about sustainability or business models, or even like investing them to create a new stamp for their products that they need in order to be sellable to other markets as well. So we do that by using indicators, modern indicators that we actually can translate to the real life of the small farmers. In our experiences, like we have like a lot of tools to do that. And also we are making the, sorry?
Your time is over, so please wrap it up.
Yeah, so we're making better products and using virtual reality to do that. And we want to reach 60 farmers in this year also, and expand our work in Brazil as well, in a market that's growing. And we invite you to join us because we believe that love is life. So food is life. So love your food, especially the small producers, our neighbors that are here producing your food. So thank you very much and sorry for it.
Great job. Congratulations. Now we open the floor for the judges to ask questions.
Congratulations. It was an excellent presentation. Thank you very much. May I ask how many farmers you have currently in your network and what's your current revenue, more or less, if you can share that information?
Yeah, sure. We are just in the beginning right now. So we just mapped about 60 farmers. We are not selling the products for all of them yet, because we are trying to build actually our website and finishing all the tools to deliver it. So we have like small pieces of income just to test the business model. So this is like just a small test that we can actually like create the reality of like how the income comes. It's just like to realize that the business is sustainable. So we did a small test, is only on the way.
Thank you.
Frida, I think you wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, so thank you for the interesting presentation. Quick question. Your sales strategy, do you depend on on-demand sales, or do you have you have baskets? Do you have any subscription model, anything that would help the farmers and yourselves to predict and forecast what revenue is coming their way?
Yeah, that's one of the big concerns we had in the beginning, because with subscription models, the farmers get more easy with that because they actually are producing and selling to a specific number of people. But what we realize is also that consumers sometimes don't like the subscription model because they receive like some products that they don't want. So what we are trying to do in the equation is actually helping the small farmers to realize which products they are like the best products to sell in retail, like or in small quantities, and to be independent of the baskets. Because the basket system, like this signature model, they can actually sell for more locals. It's easier, but it's hard to expand the business and grow the business with that. So we, with a lot of responsibility all the time, we try to understand better what's the dream of the small farmer, so we can understand which products we can improve, so they can improve their income. At the end of the day, we want to improve the income of the family, right? So we all always look into that different strategies. For example, like Edna, for example, we are changing her strategy from selling products to delivering services. For example, like she is being a host for Airbnb, like in her own farm. So that's helping her to stop like working because of her shoulders that are not moving anymore. So we are trying to use like a more human approach when we're like deciding which business model we're following with them.
Yeah. One more quick question, please. With your capacity building, you mentioned that you are reinvesting all of the revenues that you're getting to build the capacity of the farmers.
Minus
so sorry? Yes, of course. And how are you deciding? How do you design, or how do you know what capacity building do they need? Do you?
So we are using indicators. Basically, we are adapting the Global Report Initiative indicators for sustainability, the GRIs, and with that we can point out like which capacities like they're needing the most to achieve sustainability, and then we create a strategy over that. The investments are still really low because we're not selling that much yet. But we check it out that like small initiatives in their big issues creates great changes in the future or in the present for them, of course. So we are using basically these indicators for each one of them in a simple way, not in a complex way as the GRI are, just like a bunch of tables and like graphs for them. Like we would try to translate this for them so they can actually work with that later. So it's a more approach in indicators, basically, in sustainability indicators.
Great job, Herbert. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your presentation. And next we have Rocio presenting Remora, Chile.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Just give me 1 second to share my screen and share the proper screen. Just 1 second. Can you see the presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, just give me 1 second. And okay. Hello everybody, my name is Rocio Gonzalez. I am the founder of Remora, and I would like to start this presentation by asking you the following question. Would you eat this? I'm guessing no, right? How about this? I'm guessing no either. Now, what if I told you you already are eating plastic? According to data from the World Wildlife Fund, an average person eats 1 credit card a week and 1 plastic hook a month. This is because plastic and waste don't just disappear when we throw them away. In the environment, they break down into microplastics, which are in the food and water we consume and the air we breathe. Though there are few studies on the matter, we already know that this has huge effects on our health, including airway inflammation, sexual dysfunction and infertility, and even some types of cancer. Now, if you had any of these conditions, where would you go? The hospital, probably, right? But what if I told you that the health sector is actually one of the main contributors to the problem? Only in Chile, in 2016, the health sector generated more than 1 million tons of waste, of which 75 to 85% is considered non-hazardous, and it's therefore reducible, reusable, and recyclable. But it's not just plastic and waste. In 2014, the health sector was also responsible of emitting 4.4% of global greenhouse gas emissions. This sector, whose mission is to protect and promote our health, is actually one of the main contributors to the climate crisis, which in turn is affecting our health. Hence, it has a major role to play. After all, we cannot have healthy people on an unhealthy planet. Remora is a bee-pending social business dedicated to the development of circular economy strategies for the health sector to mitigate its environmental impact in order to reach a planetary health. We deliver the strategies in the form of circular services and products that benefit both healthcare centers and their users. Among our services, we offer tailored consultancies for health-related industries that wish to transition from linear to circular processes. At least in Chile, there are no other companies offering this service for this particular sector. Among our products, we design and build rehabilitation products for people with disabilities using non-hazardous waste recovered from the health sector. We do this by partnering with healthcare facilities, which provides us with both a stable input of material and a stable demand for our products. The use of recycled materials allows for affordable prices for users and their families, on-demand availability, and a reduction in the amount of waste that goes from healthcare centers and ends up in landfills. Up to now, we have partnered with 2 healthcare centers, 1 NGO, and are working on a consultancy for 2 other organizations. But the potential for growth is huge. The Global Green and Healthy Hospitals Network is a global community of healthcare that have committed to reducing their environmental footprint. This is our target market, and there are more than 60,000 centers in 75 countries worldwide and more than 300 members in Chile alone. We started Remora with a governmental fund that enabled us to build the first MVPs for our 2 first rehabilitation products, with which we have already reached 7 users and their families. We then carried out a crowdfunding campaign to finance the manufacturing of the first 100 units of these first two products, with which we have recovered more than 300 kilos of material from healthcare facilities. And now we've hired a new team member that will manage our social media in order to promote our products and services and help us initiate sales. However, in order to keep the prices of our rehabilitation products affordable and attain a financial sustainability, we need to scale our consultancies. Today, our main source of revenue comes from the sales of our rehabilitation products. However, if we could manage to certify our team in the circular design thinking method for an initial investment of $5,000, we could enhance our consultancies, reach more clients, and make this service our main source of revenue. This would help us attain a further 30% reduction in the price for our rehabilitation products, making them even more affordable for users and their families, and maximizing our social impact. It would also allow us to grow from 3 members in our team, this is our current team in this slide, to 5 members by 2026. Again, I cannot stress this enough. We cannot have healthy people on an unhealthy planet. Join us today in the challenge of reaching a planetary health. Thank you very much. I'm open for questions now.
Congratulations, Rocio. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Now I'll open for our judges. Shruti, please.
I'll save the silence. I was wondering, great presentation. Loved the staggering stats at the start. You really caught all of us. I was wondering if you could just talk me through the transition from 2022 to 26, an increase of only 2 team members. Can you kind of map that to how much that's going to scale the business in terms of sales revenues? Just if you have some top line metrics that you want to hit in that period that these 2 additional people will also help you hit. It'll be interesting to know. And if you know the kind of like funding you'd need for that.
Of course. Let me just 1 second. I did have another. Well, I'm not sure this one will help that much, but I'll share it anyways. Just a second. The thing is that for us, there we go. Can you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. The thing is that, well, for us, right now, sort of what I said in the presentation, our rehabilitation products are much higher. It's at $85. And if we manage to scale their consultancies, which would stay the same price, oh, sorry, this is not, okay, there you go. We could reduce in $38 the rehabilitation products. So that would maximize a lot the profit. So sort of those are the numbers we were showing here. This graph particularly did not include the increase in the team members because actually what we're trying to do is sort of have more strategies to offer the health sectors, not just in terms of consultancy, that there actually are other companies doing that, but we also want to offer products that will help healthcare facilities do this transition. What do I mean? Right now, most strategies come from healthcares themselves. I actually did prepare sort of a slide. This is in Latin American reality. There is a report that goes out every year that like says what are the top hospitals that are doing something for their footprint, their environmental footprint, and they're all initiatives that are coming from healthcare centers themselves. These are initiatives in Chile, and these ones are in Latin America. So what we're trying to do as Remora is that we're trying to offer them solutions sort of from outside, like a help for them. And that's why we offer this rehabilitation products that they can buy and reduce their environmental footprints. But it's not just that, we're also working on another project that it's just beginning. That's why I actually didn't put it right now, but it's to make personal protective equipment that is compostable as well. So we do have other strategies that we want to develop so that it doesn't come from the healthcare sector itself. Like they do not have to do it. Like we can help them from outside as a social business. And that's why we need more team members. We need more people to carry out these other projects that we wish to have. So I hope that answered sort of the question. I don't know if I did.
Yeah, definitely. I just had a follow up quickly on the number of products, because in your little table there it says, the number of products that you want to kind of be selling. I'm just wondering what your thinking around manufacturing is. Will it be through partnerships? Are you going to be sort of, are you going to just design the product and design the process and then license that? Has there been some thought around the production process?
Well, the production process is actually it has been not that easy for us right now. So we're actually, the goal for this year is to optimize that product, so make it simpler. And what we would really like to do, like, where do we want to get with the rehabilitation products? Probably won't be this year, but next is to have them open source, so that people can actually download like a manual and how to build your own rehabilitation products with the materials taken from healthcare centers. So that would make that a revenue stream completely comes from consultancies, but this is like the middle step. Like we can reduce the prices of the rehabilitation products. We're going to optimize the design to make it easier to produce, but like the last goal, or what we want to get, is making them open source, completely open source, and that we can rely on our consultancies and other products like this personal protective equipment that I mentioned as our revenue streams.
Okay.
I hope that answered the question.
Great job. Great job. Thank you so much, Rocio.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I'm just sharing my screen.
Great.
Thank you, Martina.
I see Vasily also has a question, so we have time for a quick question.
Yeah, thank you. Great presentation, Rocio. I like the combination of consulting and also making the products. I just wanted to, around the partnership model, so to understand you haven't made the product yet, and so you would consider making partnerships is the one thing. And then the other thing, I think it's more a comment, saw that you are looking to be certified, and just consideration as part of the consultancy, and given that you're going for the circular economy, to perhaps present it, if you haven't, in terms of corporate social responsibility, because all these organizations have to report this within their financial statements. So if you're speaking to those specific departments, that's part of their strategy in that regard, so that you consult in that regard, and also partnerships that can make the products, and perhaps as gifts or whatever it may be. Thank you.
Sorry. I kind of the last part was a comment. It was a question. I'm so sorry. I didn't.
The last part was a comment.
Great.
Yeah.
No, great tip, great idea there. I'll definitely write that down. And in terms of partnerships, that was the first question, right? Am I right? Yeah. Well, we have built already the as I said, with a crowdfunding campaign, we financed the first 100 units of our products, and we have been partnering. Like, we first did some partnerships to get the materials. And now now that we have the products, we're working all the partnerships to sell them. So that's the phase that's going on right now. We've actually done some partnerships. So we've already partnered with 2 healthcare facilities and then 1 NGO to work. The healthcare facilities are more to receive materials, recycle materials, but then the NGO is to get to the users. So yes, we have been doing some partnerships, but that's the strong part that's coming now, like that we have the products ready for sale. Thank you for the question.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lucio. And next we have Maria Teresa from STEM in a Box.
Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. My name is Maria, and I'm the founder of STEM in a Box, a didactic kit that teaches youth how to assemble robots from electric waste. Picture this. You are a 70-year-old girl from El Salvador, the oldest of 5 siblings. You have an outstanding long-term memory, love plants, and experiment with their health benefits. However, when the time to enroll in school comes, your parents decide you must stay home to look after your siblings. Fast forward to the future, and you never went to school, never learned how to read or write. Maybe you could have become a doctor. Who knows? This is the story of my paternal grandmother, Francisca. Today, there are 129 million girls out of school around the world. Just like my grandmother, these girls receive an empty box, empty of opportunities and skills to thrive. That is why my life mission is to ensure that every day that passes, fewer girls like my grandmother wonder who they could have become if given the chance to go to school. STEM in a Box is in her honor. We already know that classroom technology can help us narrow the learning gap in developing countries. However, learning poverty stands at 80% in the poorest countries of the world. This solution addresses the lack of affordable classroom technology. Education systems have not been updated since the Industrial Revolution, perpetuating youth to minimum wage jobs in agriculture and textile production. That is why school dropout rates are so high in developing countries. To address these phenomena, we designed a didactic kit that teaches the principles of electricity, physics, and robotics, all while building 3 different robots. STEM in a Box is still in the pilot testing phase. We have distributed 68 boxes, training 250 students between the ages of 14 and 18 in El Salvador and Nigeria. Now, you might be wondering, what's in the box? We include electric waste, technological materials, and step-by-step assembly guides. On the right-hand side, you see Samuel, one of our first students in Nigeria. After assembling his first electric car, he asked the teacher what was next. The teacher briefly mentioned something about a hydraulic arm, but they were still struggling to source the materials. To our surprise, Samuel came back to the next workshop with his own hydraulic arm, which he assembled on his own without instructions, using only the materials he found at home. That is the power of STEM in a Box. To assess our intervention, we measure 3 indicators. The first one is changing students' negative perspective of science and math. Secondly, we track their mathematical understanding, and we have seen a 73% improvement only by showing them the practical application through the robot assembly. Finally, we try to pursue them to go to university and study STEM. Before our intervention, this number was as low as 17%. Today, it has increased by 66%. In alignment with SDG number 4, we provide affordable classroom technology. We also focus on gender equality, empowering girls through the principle of cooperation. And in fact, right now, 75% of our students are female. In the long run, we aim for decent employment, building students' vocational and technical skills. STEM in a Box is half the price its closest competitor and caters the needs of students in the Global South only. We operate under a B2B model, working with NGOs and retaining a profit margin from the boxes. Our team has been working on this since 2019. This year, we aim to reach 365 students in the 7 countries where our partners are based. Today, I'm asking you for $1,000 to finalize our pilot testing in Colombia. Thanks to our partnership with Clubes de Ciencia, this prize will train 115 girls, increasing our beneficiaries by 50%. Our team brings in experience in finance, education, and computer science, and we're very proud to say that this initiative has been entirely designed by youth for youth. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to take your questions now.
Great job, Maria. Great job. Congratulations. Pratim, we already have the first question.
Amazing presentation, Maria. I really appreciate. I had a question just to have an overview on your business model. How would you generate revenue? And then from that point of view, how would you have profit generation?
Yes, so our main revenue stream comes from the distribution of the boxes. We source all the materials locally. That's why the profit margin sometimes differs, but it's 48% on average at this point in time. We mainly work with NGOs under a B2B model, but are currently exploring a B2C option, some sort of Robin Hood model that allows us to subsidize tools in Latin America or Africa, for example.
Perfect.
Do we have any more questions from the judges? Fida, please.
So to build on your question, when you work, you're working across different geographies. When you work with your partners, do you source the material from the countries that they operate in, or do you actually ship the boxes? This is one question. And if you can also explain how come you're working with different NGOs across different continents and different countries versus the closer one? I'm just curious about the geography part and your plans on where do you want to take this? And final question is, each box has, the child is able to create one product out of each box, or can they actually disassemble and then work on something else again?
Yes, thank you for your questions. So to get us started, we do source everything locally. Half of the materials are recycled, so they come from local private companies. For example, the first robot is powered by an old computer mouse, and we get those from local companies on the ground as well. I believe the second question was about partnerships. We thrive under the principle of cooperation, which means that the implementation of the tools is completely outsourced to our partners on the ground. Our role as a team is to provide them with the materials and the training mainly. And if you could please remind me of your third question, I really appreciate that.
It was about if they can create more than one product out of each.
Yes, exactly. So this works as a series kit, which means that you find the materials for all three robots in one box, and both the materials and the theory are building blocks for the next robot. So this is some sort of level learning where, again, both the materials and the theory are connected to build three different robots in the end. And these can be assembled and deassembled as many times as students wish, which also leaves us room for creativity and building further projects when we're gone.
Great. We still have time for one more question if any of the judges still want to. Shruti, please.
Go. Thanks for the presentation. Really great one. I've seen something like this, something very similar like this, and I've seen the impact of it. So kudos to you for getting started on this in your geography. I was curious to know, you had a competitive landscape slide. I was just wondering how you compare on pricing with your competitors, and also if there's any feedback on, because you said it's a B2B model and you're working with nonprofits on the ground. So are the nonprofits then, your customers are the students, but then are the nonprofits the people who are paying for it? And what is your thoughts around sort of just recurring revenues, right, for stability in the long term?
Yes, exactly. So our students are the user and the main beneficiary, but at the end of the day, it's NGOs, private companies, schools, or even parents here in the US that pay for the box that goes to our students in Latin America and Africa. In terms of competitive pricing, we sell the tools for $34.99 US. And just to give you an idea, Raspberry Pi, it's a closest competitor, and they sell one robot for $75 US. So we're right down and half the price for 3 robots instead of 1.
Sorry, quick one. And then do you think the pricing in any way, the cost to you is going to decrease as you scale?
Definitely, yes. There's a lot of benefits from economies of scales. And in the future, once our team has the capacity, if we ship the tools from abroad, there's a room for increasing that profit margin as well.
All right, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Great job, Maria. Thank you to the judges for the questions. Congratulations. Next, we have Yoonju and Laura presenting the snowball effect.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And can you hear me too?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just gonna share. All right. And can you see the slides?
Yes.
Perfect. So, have you ever wondered what makes a concept go viral? It's a billion-dollar question, right? At Snowball Effect, we have this dream to make proven social businesses go viral and therefore mainstream. You know, those businesses that make our world a better place. Like this one, for example, Original Unverpackt, one of the first zero-waste shops ever created. And it wasn't so long ago, actually, in only 2014. And then it became mainstream. So how is that? Its founder, Milena Gimbowski, certainly played a role by empowering others to replicate and open their own zero-waste shops. So she created an online course, she did conferences, and she wrote books for basically others to copy her. And that paid off. Today, thousands of zero-waste shops are opening a bit everywhere in Europe and beyond. Well, Malcolm Gladwell, author of The Tipping Point, explains it better. He says, if you want to make a concept mainstream, you need to convince not 100%, but only 16% of a population to use it. And then it becomes automatically viral without additional efforts. Powerful, isn't it? So how do we convince 16% of this given population, not only to shop in zero-waste shops, but also to create real bondings with newcomers, to go to hairdressers who are sustainable, and to go for slow tourism, for example? At Snowball Effect, we believe in the power of replicating such proven social businesses, especially because we know that less than 10% of aspiring entrepreneurs really succeed in turning their idea into a sustainable social business with a proven impact. So why not empowering them to replicate what works instead of reinventing the wheel? Now, perhaps you're wondering, but are there really entrepreneurs out there who'd be willing to share their knowledge with others? And the quick answer is yes, there are, and we're in touch with many of them. And they're willing to let others replicate their projects because it increases their impact indirectly, but also their income. But above all, it's because they know that they won't be able to solve the world's biggest challenges alone.
So this is why we created Snowball Effect, the replication Tinder. We train and matchmake aspiring social entrepreneurs with the initial founders of those social businesses, for them to learn from the initial founders and replicate their concept or their brand as franchisee or licensees, for example. Concretely, we have 4 main activities: selecting the best social businesses worth replicating, raising awareness to make the concept of replication better known and sexier, training people to adapt their projects to their local context, and matchmaking and enabling the replication process. Today, we selected 16 solutions worth replicating. We raised awareness among more than 1,000 people. 80 of them applied to replicate a project, and 5 replications are currently ongoing. But these figures are only the top of the iceberg, because this is a completely untapped new market. For example, in Europe, our market represents 3 million aspiring social entrepreneurs who don't find the idea to get started, and 300,000 founders of social businesses who don't find the right people to scale their solutions. Our work and impact have already been recognized by some key stakeholders, among them the European Commission, who granted us with 50,000 euros as winners of the European Social Innovation Competition. But with an additional push of 30,000 euro, we would be able to increase our visibility and create respectively 8 and then 10, 15, 17 replication per year until 2025 in Europe. But we are called snowball effect for a reason. And if we want to make replication mainstream, we need to scale our impact much faster. If we would receive twice as much, 60,000 euros spread over 2 years, our impact could more than double, generating a total of more than 100 replication by 2025 in Europe. We would then generate profits ourselves, enabling us to grow further independently from grants. This would then help us spread our impact to other continents by 2025. So who is in to help us kickstart a snowball effect of positive changes? We are looking forward to discussing with you. Thank you for your attention.
Great job, ladies. Great job. Beautiful presentation. Now I'll open the floor for our judges. Otávio, please.
Well, thanks for the presentation. I'm not sure I understood the source of income for the business. Is it a social network where you're going to have some kind of subscription fee or something like that?
Yeah, so I can quickly share the slides again. Oops, sorry. Here, do you see the slide? Yes. So our main revenue streams are coming from the aspiring social entrepreneurs who are interested in replicating a project, who we call the replicators. And then we have who we call the initiators, which are the initial founders who are willing to scale their businesses. So basically we have a few programs that go from training replicators to helping them being matchmaked with the right solutions. And then we take different fees, like the setup fee and success fees, for the projects that are entering our portfolio and being part of the projects that are ready to be replicated. And then we have other revenue streams coming from regional agencies, because we sell some of the programs so that it's subsidized by those regional agencies, and we also have grants. So we are on a hybrid business model.
We still have time for a few more questions. Padmini, yes.
Hi, firstly, great presentation. I just had a quick question in terms of your pricing strategy. Have you done any sort of competitive benchmarking or any research in that sort? If you could just talk a bit about your pricing specifically.
Yeah, so I also have this slide. Oops, I don't know why it's not working. Okay. So here we have a landscape of our indirect and direct competitors. We haven't seen yet anyone doing exactly the same thing as we do. So we don't have like a benchmark of pricing in terms of who, like with our direct competitors. So Seed Replicator, Impact On, and Scale School of our three initiatives that are pretty much doing the same thing, but in a different way. And they're like Scale School, for example, has gone bankrupt last year. Seed Replicator is operating mostly in South Africa, and Impact On are doing digital blueprints. So they are not comparable either in terms of pricing or operations. And then we have different other indirect competitors like recruitment agencies mostly, which are basically what we try to do in the classical economy, and they're all only working for centralized scaling models. So they basically hire people who become like regional director for a company, and their prices are much more important and much higher than our pricing. So we see that as an opportunity actually for us, since they're also not really in the social innovation field.
Maybe to make it just a little bit clearer, there are four main scaling models that we have in mind today. Either you're looking for a regional manager or a franchisee, and this is more centralized model. In this way, we have competitors in like that are recruitment agencies, but then you have other scaling models such as affiliation or open source or license. In this field, there is nobody that is actually doing the matchmaking, and so we are really addressing those 4 to 5 different scaling models, and each organization would have to look for a very specific type of person. Yeah, thank you, Yoon, for presenting it here. So we are looking for people who would be regional managers or franchisee or licensee, or people that they can mentor so that they share with them their learnings with consultancies, with trainings, for example.
Thank you.
Great.
Quick,
Go ahead, Vasily.
excellent presentation. How will you source the initiators? What are your thoughts around finding these initiators that take ownership of this?
So today we have sourced already 16 of them. We started by just our own network because Yunju and I, we've been working in this innovation field for more than 8 years. So the first project that we are in the batch were people that we knew, and then it's word by mouth. But we are also having key partnerships with players such as Ashoka or Catalyst 2030, Changemaker Exchange, a lot of players who are already in touch with people that are ready to replicate their project, or consultancies like Spring Impact, if you know them.
Yep. Okay. And Impact Hubs, I mean, I'm sure you've looked at it. Okay. Anyway, excellent. Very nice. Thank you.
Great job, ladies. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your presentation. Next, we have Pedro presenting Viva La.
Great, let's go. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
It's loading. Yes, we can.
Okay, let me set my clock. So hi everyone, my name is Pedro. I'm the co-founder and operations director of Viva La, a social business that promotes sustainable tourism here in Brazil. So, the problems that we are facing. We face several problems. We are focusing on a few of them. So first of all, our biodiversity, the biggest in the world, is being destroyed at the fastest rate we have ever seen. Although we have a lot of natural resources here in Brazil, the populations that live on these forests are still very poor. When looking for the consumer side, travelers are looking for more authentic and deep experiences when they travel. So thinking of that, we offer a solution of a sustainable tourism that generates environmental, social, and economic benefits for everyone involved. We only do expedition at protected lands here in Brazil, the ones that suffer the most pressure by deforestation. We only work with traditional communities here in Brazil, including indigenous and enslaved descendant people who are historically vulnerable. And by doing that, we are injecting at least 35% of our revenue at these local communities, hiring their local services. So let me stop here to share a quick story. On this picture, you can find Lucas, which is a recurring traveler from Viva La, and by his side, this beautiful woman is called Nira. Nira comes from a family where her parents and her grandparents used to work with illegal wood extraction. It's the only kind of opportunity they had at that time. But she didn't want to follow that path, and she started working with acai berry seeds to make crafts. She produces bracelets and necklaces just like this one that I'm wearing right now to give me good luck. And she sold this kind of product. But she didn't know how to distribute these products outside of her community. So a few years ago, Lucas and another traveler in one of our expeditions helped Nira so she could do workshops with travelers during expeditions from Viva La and from other companies that provide expeditions to her community. And right now, she is one of the 200 local suppliers that we work with in our expeditions, providing workshops, meals, and other experiences. So this is how we work. This is how we can manage to give proper jobs to people who live on these vulnerable territories. So coming back to the market, the tourist market here in Brazil is huge. It's worth more than $150 billion. When we are working specifically at protected lands, we are talking about a market that worth more than R1 billion. But the market, it's very pulverized, has no differentiation. We have a lack of use of technology, and we don't have a reference in the market when we talk about sustainability. So Vivala is taking advantage of all of these opportunities, and through the last 6 years, we have achieved a lot. We are currently operating in 7 Brazilian states, including the Amazon, Cerrado, and Caatinga forests. We already had more than $500,000 in revenue with a healthy margin. We have already more than 1,000 travelers with extremely high NPS, higher than 9.5 out of 10. We have already injected more than $150,000 in those communities by hiring their services from people just like Nita that I shared her story. And we already have spent more than 6,000 hours of volunteer work on these communities done by our travelers in our expeditions. To continue to grow these achievements, we have a lot of strategies. First of all, we are expanding our destinations to cover all of Brazilian biomes. We are increasing the number of services to include volunteerism at more areas such as health and environmental regeneration. We are increasing our distribution through digital marketing. We are expanding our ambassadors programs so we can improve our repurchase rate. We are trying to attract international travelers, just like many of you guys, so you can experience our culture and experience such as the workshops offered by Nita and our local suppliers. And we are trying to attract the best talents available by being a fully digital company. Our leadership is formed by me, Daniel, who is also a fellow, and Gustavo, who is our head of communication. We already have 4 more people on our team doing a fantastic job. And we also had a strong consulting board formed only by female leaderships that advise us on legal, finance, people, and sustainability. So I want to end this speech with an invitation. Our final destination is to transform Brazil into the world leader in sustainable tourism. And we want to do it together with you guys and with thousands of people just like Nita that I shared her story. So let's do it together. This is Vivala. Thank you very much for your time.
Great job, Pedro. Thank you so much for your presentation. We already have a question from Pratim.
Great presentation, Pedro. It was really nice. I would like to know that because this industry is already quite competitive, the sustainable tourism, so what would you say that your unique selling point is to make your business sustainable in the long run?
In the long run, I feel like our main unique selling point is our suppliers network. Because just as I shared Nita's story, we have a lot of community and local suppliers that only work with Vivala. We have a lot of them, for a lot of the suppliers, Vivala is their most important partner. So we generate a lot of income with them, and with many of them, we have contracts of exclusivity on the dates that we work with them. And it doesn't mean that they can't work with other companies, but it means that in the dates that we have our group expeditions, they will work with Vivala, and this becomes something that only our expeditions can have. So we have extremely rich in terms of cultural aspects, network of suppliers in these communities. So this is, I guess, is our main unique point.
Okay, and is this plan only based in Brazil, or do you have future plans for expanding into other countries or maybe globally?
At first, we are thinking only about destinations here in Brazil, but we want to attract travelers from all around the world. As I mentioned at first, we will go after people from Europe and North America, mostly because of their purchase condition, because the currency in North America and Europe, it's more valuable than the Brazilian. So this can lead to a cheaper experience for the North American and European travelers, and also for us, it can be a higher ticket of the purchase. So at first there, but in the long term, we are looking for travelers from all around the world.
Great to know. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you for your question.
Great. We still have time for one more question.
I'll ask that. Great presentation, Pedro. I'd love to come there to experience it myself. A quick question: do you cater for digital nomads? So, I mean, would someone who wants to work remotely or come and be a tourist and also be connected to the internet, is that possible within those communities and in a sustainable way? Thank you.
Right now, we can't work remotely with most of the communities because they have pretty low internet access. So this is a question of infrastructure. It is a reality of many communities here in Brazil. They don't have access, and we are trying to work in partnership with local leaderships and the public sector in order to provide this, so we can be able to also offer this kind of services, like working remotely with those communities. But right now, the main obstacle that we have is that they don't have internet access on a regular basis.
Awesome. Is there any more questions from our judges to Pedro? Okay, thank you so much. Go ahead, Fida, go ahead. Sorry.
Sure. Is there a global company, a similar project anywhere in the world that you aspire to become similar to?
Right now, there is no like a big player that we envision. We have a lot of references from other countries, but they are not, they don't have the kind of, they don't have the size that we want to have in the next 5 years, so we can inspire and see their steps. So right now we have, yes, a lot of reference for especially people who work in the African continent, and we have some references about how they work, but we don't have like one company that is our main benchmark right now.
Great. Congrats, Pedro. Great job. And let's move on to our next presenter. We have Sarah representing Boca Eats.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen shortly. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Okay, now we can.
My computer is hanging.
Sarah, I'm going to do the following. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with someone from our team so you can get everything sorted out. And when you come back, you pitch. In the meantime, we're going to go now with Evelyn from Kambika Tech. Evelyn. Sorry, I think Sarah figured it out. So let's do Sarah and then we come back to Evelyn. So sorry. Sarah, You need to unmute yourself. Okay, you can start whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much. My name is Sarah. I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Boga Eats Limited. I was sent to school to learn. Instead, I came back home pregnant. My parents were disappointed. I became a single teenage mother. My son and I were my mother's kids. I was very ashamed and confused. Just like my son was constantly sick. I took him to the hospital. The doctor prescribed to give him foods rich in proteins as the first treatment. The same was prescribed to me. This was a problem affecting children in the entire community of Western Kenya. This was happening because we did not have reliable source of protein-rich food. Farmers did not have reliable feeds to enable them to do dairy and poultry farming. Farmers are lacking skills on poultry and dairy farming to produce enough proteins. To solve this, I work with smallholder farmers, selling reliable and sustainable animal feeds to them. The feeds we supply to these farmers to increase production of eggs, milk, and chicken meat. Along with the sale of feeds to these farmers, we offered free training on poultry and dairy farming to these farmers. We provide farmers market for the extra eggs, milk, and chicken meat they produce and they don't consume. For farmers to generate income to change their living standards. How does it work? We assemble raw materials from farmers and others from millers. We process into animal feeds. We package according to the customer's demand and distribute them directly from our factory and indirectly through the feed stores and the agro-feeds. Our current market is in Kisi community. We are targeting in Kisi community where we have a market share of 10%. We are targeting to increase our market share to 30% by 2025. We will grow to Western Kenya and Kenya as a region, and then expand to East Africa market. Our business model is, as Boga Eats, we sell feeds to farmers and one-day-old chicks. We give the farmers trainings on poultry and dairy farming. We receive extra eggs from these farmers, which they cannot consume. We sell them to the hospitals, supermarkets, in our urban centers on a commission based on a certain percentage. Our financials, since inception, our revenue graph has been rising. In 2021, we made an annual revenue of $132,580 from all combined activities. We are projecting an annual growth of 50% for our revenue in the next 3 years. This is why are we projecting this? We are going to partner with our suppliers under agreements. We are going to increase our distribution channels where we'll be going to road shows in our municipal markets, do road shows, educate more farmers, and make sure we have increased our distribution channels in the feed stores and the agro feeds. Through UNAS, we have also expanded our business. We have a website where we're also selling our products through. Our competitive advantage is being based in the rural community is one of the main competitive advantage. Labor in the rural community is cheap, getting the raw materials cheap, and this made our products cheaper compared to our competitors. Today, we are raising $280,000. The money will be in form of grant or equity. This will enable our growth as we are going to hire more skilled labor, have machines of high capacity production, have working capital, and have a delivery track, which will enable us to deliver the final product to the farmers and source the raw materials from the farmers to the factory for processing. We are putting action on sustainable development goals, where our key performance indicators is that, or our impact metric is that the number of farmers we have impacted, and the percentage of market access to protein-rich foods in the community. Our team, this is our team. We have been working together for more than 4 years now. We are passionate in poultry and dairy farming to increase protein production in rural communities of Africa. Join us in this journey, and together we fight protein deficiency in rural communities of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Great job. Great job. Now I'll open the floor for questioning from our judges.
I can go.
Great, Fida.
Sarah, thank you very much. I've been to Kenya. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Sarah, I'd like to ask you something about your financial ask. If you can go to that slide, if it's possible. If it's not, I'll just shoot the question. Yeah. So you said you're raising this $280,000 in terms of equity or grants. I just wanted to ask why equity, especially that you're a profitable business, and I'm not sure if this is the type of business that VCs or equity investors might look at. Have you considered loans or revenue-based financing, for example?
Yeah, thank you very much for first liking our country. I'm happy for that. Yeah, it's not only equity and a grant we are considering, we are also considering loans.
Okay. Any more questions for Sarah?
Sarah, how old is your son? Is he old enough to, is he in school or does he work with you?
By the way, he works with me. He's 7 years old.
Okay. I'm sure he's very proud of you.
Yeah, he's very proud.
Sarah, hi. Thank you for your presentation. May I ask, you've got 10% at the moment, and you plan to have 20% soon. So what is the main reason that you see that you'll be able to take the 10% away from the current competitors?
Yeah, the reason as to why we are targeting that percent is that being based in the rural communities an added advantage, and the demand for the feed is very high because our competitors are based in the urban centers. For them to reach this product in the community is very expensive for the farmers. Our product becomes cheaper since we are in the community and some of the raw materials are locally available. And we are in the process of raising funds. We want to increase our production capacity so that we can meet the demands of our customers.
Okay, thank you. And you currently do produce, right? You produce your own feed at the moment through those slides that you had shown. Is that correct?
Yes, we are producing.
And packaging. Okay, great. Thank you, Sarah.
Fantastic. Shruti, please ask your question.
I'll be quick. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for the presentation. Really liked it. I've got a question on valuation. So you said 280,000 is your ask. Do you have a valuation in mind? If you don't, that's okay. But do you have one in mind for the equity ask?
Yeah, currently we are working with some of the investors in the equity form. We are still in negotiation.
Okay, all right, no worries. And then I wanted to know if you could just talk me through your scaling. So just picking up on Vasili's questions earlier, from 10% to 30% of market share. Can you talk me through just the strategy to scale, to capture that? What are the kind of plans that you have in mind?
Yeah, what we are doing is that we are going to increase the number of skilled labor. These are people who have experience on training farmers on poultry and dairy farming. And we are going to do what we call in our rural community, there's meetings which are the local leaders have meetings locally. We are sending our people there, or our trainers there, train farmers there as a way of also advertising our products. And the moment you train this farmer, a farmer advertises our product through another farmer, and that's how we are going to increase our market share.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I like the answers which are word of mouth and not marketing spend sometimes. It's nice to hear that.
Thank you.
So a quick question for me. You got 132,000 revenue, so really well done. How much of that, if I may ask, is profit?
Yeah, from 132, our profit is 40%.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, well done.
Great job, great job. Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you so much for the judges as well.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going with Evelyn, representing Kambika Tech.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Okay. In just a moment. Is it visible now?
It's yes, it is.
Okay, I can start.
Just click on the presenter mode so we can see your full screen and you can start.
Is it better now?
It hasn't changed. I don't know if it's just for me.
It's still on the same.
Yeah. I don't know if Evelyn froze. Evelyn, maybe you want to try turning off your camera. So we have, want to try turning off your camera so we have better connection.
Okay, let me do that.
Okay. Then whenever you're ready, we can start.
Okay, sure. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's not working. I don't know why, but it's okay. Let's move on. So
Okay. I can go ahead and start?
yes.
Okay. My name's Evelyn Sitambi and I'm from Kambika Tech, Zambia. So every hour, 10 African women bleed to death due to delays in decision making, delays in reaching and receiving adequate health care. It is estimated that 70% of those deaths occur in rural areas where women have to travel long distances, often by foot, to get to the nearest health center. Additionally, poor road infrastructure, limited transport options, as well as the high cost, all contribute to the poor utilization of health services in Zambia. As you can see on that image, this was an image taken from our newspaper dated 27th January, where we had a soldier help a woman deliver in the Mills field during the rains. So 3 years ago, my sister lost her baby a few minutes just after delivery from a delay in the referral system. It was this situation that got me critically concerned with what was killing Zambian women and their babies. So I moved on to a medical school and with the help of 2 of my colleagues, founded an NGO that mainly focused on community sensitization regarding pregnancy and pregnancy-related complications using a low-cost-based technology system that enabled every pregnant woman receive vital health information regardless of the type of phone or internet connection. So ladies and gentlemen, we are in the process of transitioning from NGO to social enterprise. So allow me to introduce ourselves. Kambika Tech is now a social enterprise that aims to improve
Evelyn,
access to health.
sorry to interrupt, but the slides aren't changing. So
Sorry?
The slides aren't changing. I don't know if you want to try to close and start sharing again. Ah, I just moved. Yeah, maybe try closing it and sharing your screen again. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, can
Because
I maybe just like restart my phone? Maybe can someone go before me?
Yes. Good idea. Okay.
All right, sure.
Let's do that. No worry. So let's go with Emeka from Kitovu Tech as well. Okay. We can see your screen. You just need to unmute yourself.
Can you see me?
We can. Yes, we can. Perfect.
Apologies, it might seem a little dark. That's because it is. It's almost 8 p.m. here, but it's okay. All right. Just to check. Give me a second. Go to full screen mode. Okay. You can see my screen clearly, right?
Yes, it's perfect.
Can I start now?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name is Mwachine Meremeka, and I'm the founder and CEO of Kitovu Technology Company, a social enterprise that provides smallholder farmers with the data to make smart decisions about what to grow that will sell. A few years ago, I was on a trip with my co-founder. We were trying to validate some of the assumptions we had. In the course of that trip, we met Hawa. Hawa is one of Nigeria's 64 million smallholder farmers who produce over 80% of all the food consumed. Unfortunately, Hawa and smallholder farmers like her cannot even afford the food that they produce. They make up 75% of all people who live under $1 a day and are thought to be poor. And that's largely because they rely on guesswork for most of their operational decisions. As a result, they achieve very, very low yields, have limited access to markets, and suffer up to 60% post-harvest losses. We started Kitovu Technology Company so Hawa and smallholder farmers like her can achieve better outcomes from their often hard labor. At Kitovu, we have developed a series of digital solutions that enable us collect farmer, field, soil data, which we then combine with market demand and satellite data, analyze it to provide farmers with personalized agronomic advisory, combined with actual certified inputs that can then help the farmer improve their yields. In addition, we help them make market discovery any more from their farms in the process. The way it works is that we get a network of young people who we train, who work with us as agents. These agents go to onboard the farmers, collect the data that we need. We then carry out the necessary analysis, combine it with inputs like fertilizer, seeds, and chemicals, and send back to the farmers. The farmers pay us when they harvest their produce because they don't have a lot of purchasing power. So the way we make money is postpaid subscription and sales of produce, as well as storage fees for those farmers who want to store and make more money from better market discovery. We also make money when we connect farmers to the market. While the opportunities in the Nigerian agricultural sector is quite huge, for now, we are focused on about 2.29 million smallholder farmers in the grain and cassava value chain, who have a combined market size of about $500 million across the demand for grains and inputs and commodities. But of course, we are not alone targeting this market. However, we are distinct in the sense that not only do we provide personalized agronomic advisory for smallholder farmers on a post-paid basis, we help the farmers optimize their productivity from end to end, right from the point of inputs to getting the product to the market and getting paid. 16 people. This team has a combined 67 years experience across operations, technology, business development, and agronomy. So far, we've been able to train 317 agents who have worked with us to onboard over 12,000 smallholder farmers and helped us create over 8 solid partnerships, generating about 250,000 in revenue to date. These farmers have been able to increase their crop yields by 30%, cut down on wastages and input costs by 20%, and overall increase their incomes by 40% annually. But we know that we can do much more than this. And that's why we are looking to raise $1 million in grants and equity investment. This will allow us to double down on product development, hire more people to increase our marketing and scale our services to much more farmers. We're also looking for strategic partnerships that will allow us offer our services to other African countries. This will enable us create over 1,000 new jobs for young people as agents, while increasing the number of our farmers to about 50,000 farmers in the next 2 years. Kitovu Technology Company is focused on helping to create a resilient food system for African agriculture, where people like Hawa can at least afford the things they produce. Join us as we transform African agriculture, one Hawa at a time. Thank you.
Great job, Emeka. Congratulations. Now I'll open the floor for questions from our judges. Pratim, please.
Yep, I can go. It's a nice presentation, Emeka. Really appreciate it. I was checking that you have an application built for your services. So just want to check, how do you actually provide ease of use to the clients that you're targeting in your market?
Okay, that's a very, very fantastic product. And it's one of our learnings. Initially when we started, we were focusing on farmers, but we realized that that was the wrong tree to back up on. So today what we do is we target agents. Our apps are designed in such a way that agents use the app to onboard the farmer. So they're actually the ones that use the app to collect the farmer data, not the farmers directly, because the farmers are not literate and most of the areas where they do their production have limited connectivity. So our app is designed in such a way that it can collect data without internet and then update the data when it's in a place of internet. So that's why we use an agent model. For other people who use our platform, it's pretty much simple to use because they are much more learned users.
Okay, that's very efficient. But just to understand, how do you regulate this application? Like, do you have some language preferences, or how do you connect with all of your agents?
Okay, so as of today, our app is in 3 languages. It's in English, French, and Urdu. So for Nigeria specifically, we target agents who at least have some level of education and can speak English. So that way, they're able to get all the information, but they're usually from the community where they are, so they can relate to the farmers in their local language. That's the way we operate as of today.
That's very innovative. Nice answers. Thank you.
Fantastic. We still have time for more questions.
Do you track any kind of social indicators in addition to increase in revenues for the farmers, like their level of satisfaction, or their level of education, or greater knowledge when they're producing their products?
Thank you very much for that question. Aside increase in yield, which we track by trying to understand average yield of the farmer, we also track the level of good agri-practice knowledge that the farmer has. We also track reduction in wastages for the farmer. We also track the increased income. So those are some of the metrics that we track at the moment.
Emeka, thanks for the presentation. Really great work. So just question, you've got 12,000 smallholder farms. How many agents approximately do you have that are, they actually your clients, right? Well, that sign up the farmers. So how many do you have? Yeah, if you can answer that, just to get an indication.
So today we have 317 agents.
Okay.
Yes, but we have a plan. In fact, all week long, it's one of the things we've been working on. We are rolling out what we call a micro enterprise campaign, which will cut across both Nigeria and other parts of Africa, basically offering our technology infrastructure for people who want to start businesses in the agricultural sector, so they can easily leverage it to start their own business, or agri-businesses in other verticals that want to start working with farmers as well. It's our path to scale.
Okay. One last question. What do you have a valuation of your business at all that you can share?
We don't have an external valuation. However, we are actually targeting a post-money valuation of about $3.5 million.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If I can do just a final question.
Yes.
If we consider the kind of techniques that the agricultures are using and the concern about environmental effect of the agriculture, do you also help them using more environmentally friendly techniques like organic production and things like that to protect the soil and generate better products for the consumers?
Thank you so much for that question. Now, our platform is actually a climate smart tech. And part of what we are doing is to make sure that not only do farmers have up-to-date information in terms of good agri practice that helps them get the best outcomes, but because we are able to tell them what quantities of fertilizers, for instance, to use in a particular location, they don't get to overdose the soil with fertilizers when it's not needed. One of the challenges we have in Nigeria, for instance, is that one of the crops we produce is banned in Europe because of pesticide overuse. And part of what we are doing is to make sure that farmers are using the right pesticide, applying the right time, so that at the end of the day, not only is the soil protected, but we are also producing food that is highly nutritious and not overly doused with chemicals.
Great job, Emeka. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Next, we're going with Okolo from Milescent Health.
Someone else is sharing screen.
You need me to share the screen for you?
Yep, if you can. Okay.
Yes, of course. Okay.
Marcella, can you help me to share your screen, please, if possible?
Yes, I am. I was just downloading your presentation. Now it's ready. Let me put it on presenter mode. Okay, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. My name is Okolike Innocent, founder and CEO of Milescent Health from Lagos State, Nigeria. So I'm a licensed medical radiographer, And in 2018, I was doing a compulsory NYSC program in a local government rural community in Ikorodu. And during my service year, I noticed how hard it was for healthcare providers to have access to medical diagnosis. So most of them resort to empirical treatments and syndromic treatment. And this leads to lower quality of life and early deaths in rural communities. During my 1 year of service, I noticed 2 patients died because of misdiagnosis. And that pushed me to starting MySense Health last year, January. What is MySense Health? MySense Health is a social enterprise tackling challenges facing inaccessibility of medical diagnosis in rural communities. What do? We transport our diagnostic equipment down to these rural communities where we conduct ultrasound scan, laboratory, and consultancy to these patients. And we also issue results to them at a particular time. Well, the problem is that most of these medical practitioners have no access to medical diagnosis because of low economic scale to purchase and maintain their diagnostic equipment. And this has actually led to them having no patient test in so far. And what is the solution? We've come up with a simple solution that we partner with these healthcare providers to bring diagnosis down to the patient doorstep.
I think Okolo froze. Okolo, okay. Okolo, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Let's try again.
Okay. Can I start now?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Okolike Chukwu Innocent. I am the founder and CEO of MySense Health. During my service year, MySense Health was never an idea, but something prompted me to start MySense Health, which was during my NYSC years in 2018. I noticed that how hard and difficult it was for healthcare providers to give treatment to their patients in absence of medical diagnosis. Therefore, they resort to empirical treatments and syndromical treatments, leading to low quality of life and early deaths in rural communities. During my 1 year service here, I firsthand witnessed 2 deaths in my hospital, and that pushed me to starting MySense Health. Our goal in MySense Health is to take diagnosis to the patient doorstep. What is the problem? The problem is most of these healthcare providers lack access to medical communities due to lower quality of life. They lack economic scale to purchase and maintain medical diagnostic equipment. And this is the major cause of high cost of medical diagnosis in rural communities. What is the solution? I came up with a very simple solution. A simple solution is to partner with healthcare providers. Who are the healthcare providers? The hospitals, the clinics, the maternity homes, and the primary health centers within Ibubu LUCDA. We partner with them to bring medical diagnosis to the patient doorstep. Look at how we operate. We operate in a simple format. We transport our diagnostic equipment via a mobile van to the healthcare providers and health facilities. You can see us taking care of a child in the picture. We go to them, we conduct tests, we provide them with their results, and give them the necessary consultation that they need. Our market size, our pricing is as low as $3, which is 1,500 naira in Nigeria. Nigerian money, making our services very affordable for individuals living in rural communities. And this goes to my market size. Our market size are healthcare providers, the hospitals, the primary health centers, the maternity homes, and the locality where we are operating currently, which is the Bubu LUCD Biocom community. There are over 356 healthcare providers with over 400,000 patients who fall into our target market, representing $1.2 million opportunity with massive growth in the horizon. A lot of us in Africa here with me can agree to this, that most of our healthcare facilities are underserved and not doing much because of government disability and corruption. But this goes to our competition. We have competitors, but we have competitive advantages. What are our competition advantages? These are low cost price. Our price are so affordable. And others operate one-stop diagnostics, which means the patient has to go to them for diagnosis. But in our own case at MyCent, we operate mobile diagnosis, which is we take our equipment to those patients, giving comfort to them. And other competitors is very expensive, while our own competition, we are very distinct. So this is our competitive advantage: mobile diagnosis, low pricing, first to market, because we are the first brand in Nigeria to start mobile diagnosis. The branding, whenever you hear about MyCent Health, it goes a long way. It becomes a homemade name. And the team strength. Talking about the team strength, our next slide is about our team. Our team, we are made up of 5 medical practitioners that makes up our team. You can see our team on the screen. And this is our team. We are all medical practitioners, a radiographer, a nurse, a secretary, and a marketer, and the dot captain. So that takes me to our next slide. In our team, we make sure that we are professionals, and we make sure that we are the best people to bring diagnosis to the healthcare organization. Our impact at MyCent Health. MyCent Health have reached over 8,232 patients in the last 12 months, partnering with over 22 hospitals, 41 tradomedical facilities, and 50 different clinicians who rely on us to make clinical decisions. And this has raised a revenue of $11,696 so far. Our innovation, we started last year, January, and in January 2022, we launched what we call DOT, Diagnosis on Track and Request. DOT is a platform where healthcare providers can book appointments.
Okolo, your time has ended, so please wrap it up.
Okay. Can book appointments and diagnosis and subsequent diagnosis, and have reached over 3,224 patients in the last 3 months. We have testimonials from our healthcare providers who are giving testimonies on how to do. So we are looking for $1,000. The $1,000 we're looking for is to purchase a ultrasound scan, mobile ultrasound scan, to improve our work, and a microscope lens machine to reach 2 more 3 communities and project 160 healthcare providers, boosting our revenue by 70%. I hope that people invest in us. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Okolo. Now we open the floor for our judges.
The investment that you are proposing, how much you believe would increase your revenues, and how do you see a scalability of your business? Because it's a limited group of practitioners, and it's maybe one van. How would you expand this business moving forward?
Okolo, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
We are looking at getting a new ultrasound machine and a microscope lens. The ultrasound machine basically is for our scans, and the microscope lens is basically for our lab. So we are having much patient now, and we needed an extra hand. So once we get these machines, it means that we are getting more medical practitioners to join our team, and this will boost our patients' coverage.
Still have time for a few more questions from the judges.
Thank you, Okola, for the presentation. I'll ask first, Dort, is it a mobile platform that you're capturing this information on? Is the first part. And then the second part, just to clarify, the $3 that you charge for a diagnosis, what is it that you provide? You know, I like your approach that you've got strategic partnerships with healthcare providers across the area, that you partner with them, but what do you give them that they use? Is it a kit? Or what is it specifically that you use? Yeah, sorry if I missed that.
Okay, we do ultrasound scan. So scan have different types of scan. So basically we do ultrasound scan and we do laboratory tests. So when we go to them, especially on their antenatal days, on their postnatal days, or on their clinical days, depending. So once they have patients on ground, we come and do scan and laboratory tests and give them results instantly to start treatment on those patients. So that's what we provide.
Great. Any other questions? Okay, if there aren't any other questions, we'll move on to our next speaker. Congratulations, Okolo. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Marcella. Thank you very much.
Is Evelyn ready for us to try again? Evelyn, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
Okay, but my internet is a little bit weak, so I joined in using my phone. Is that okay?
Yeah, let me share the screen for you. I believe I have your presentation.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay, I'm just opening it.
Okay.
Okay, you can start whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Okay, I can go ahead and start. My name is Evelyn Sitambi, and I'm from Kambika, Zambia. Next slide. Every hour, 10 African women bleed to death due to delays in decision-making, delays in reaching healthcare, and delays in receiving adequate healthcare. It is estimated that 70% of those deaths occur in rural areas where women often have to walk long distances, often by foot. Next slide. Additionally, poor road infrastructure, limited transport options, and the high costs all contribute to the poor utilization of healthcare services in women in rural areas. As you can see on the slide, that's information that's dated 27th January, which was this year, where we had a soldier help a woman deliver in a mess field during the rains. Next slide. 3 years ago, my sister lost her baby a few minutes just after delivery, and this was due to a delay in the referral system. It was this condition that got me critically concerned with what was killing Zambian women and their babies. So I moved on to medical student, and with the help of my colleagues, which are on the next slide, helped me form an NGO, which is known as Kambika Foundation. So as an NGO, we mainly focus through community sensitization concerning pregnancy and pregnancy-related conditions, using a low-cost-based technology system that allowed every pregnant woman receive vital health information using an SMS, regardless of her phone or internet connection. But however, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to reintroduce ourselves, as we are now successfully moving from NGO to social enterprise. Next slide. So Kambika Tech is a social enterprise that aims to improve healthcare access through the provision of a bicycle ambulance that will transport pregnant women from rural communities from their homes to the clinic. So basically, our bicycle ambulance will be used as an emergency transport system. Next slide. Our bicycle ambulance is affordable. It's always available in that it will be stationed in the community. It will have a flexible payment plan. It's small enough to navigate the narrow rural roads, and it offers employment to at least 2 people. And as an incentive, each woman will continue to receive vital health information using the low-cost tech-based system, regardless of her location or type of phone. Next slide. So this slide shows a complete prototype, which we're expected to launch by this June as we receive our first funding. So that's an example of how it operates. So the employment we're offering is for the rider, then the trailer will carry the pregnant woman from her community to the nearest health facility. Next slide. Our project will serve every pregnant woman in underserved community aged between 14 to 40 years. So in piloting our project, which starts on June, we are starting with one community, then scale up after a year. Next slide. How will we reach our target audience? We have a very elegant model in which we will use already existing structures. In particular, we're going to work with government-trained community health workers, as these health workers are already stationed in the communities we're operating with. The other form in which we reach our audience is a whole community approach. So by whole community approach, I mean we'll reach out to both men and women and children about our services using interesting models such as flyers and as well as outreach programs. Next slide. Our financials, we have a very elegant model in which we will charge about 20 kwacha for each customer who's a pregnant woman as we transport from her home to the healthcare facility. So as in our financials, we are starting with 2 bicycles and expect a revenue of 200, and from this we make a profit of 115. Next slide. Our roadmap, like I said earlier on, we are now in the position of transitioning from NGO to social enterprise. So according to our roadmap, we are expecting to prototype with a small group by July. Next slide. So today we are here to ask for $1,000. This $1,000 will help us further on develop our product and purchase more as our product is locally manufactured, as well as scale up. Like I said, we're starting with one community and moving on to the next community. Next slide. So ladies and gentlemen, imagine Kambika Tech at scale. We are an engine of growth, an engine of impact, and an engine of jobs for our riders. As Kambika Tech, we are in the business of saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Great job. I'm so glad that we figured out the technical issues.
Thank you. I'm so sorry about that.
Don't worry, don't worry. Now we open the floor for our judges. Shruti, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Evelyn, for that presentation. I'm really glad you got to do it. I think I've got a quick question. You presented sort of a breakdown of 5 patients a day, 2 bicycles. I was wondering for the pilot phase, do you have sort of a number that you're hoping to reach in total? And post that, if you have any sort of metrics in mind for, like, say, 1 year, I'd be interested in knowing how you're thinking about scaling it.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So according to the slide that I shared, I don't know if Marcella can go back to the slide.
Yes, I'm opening it.
Okay, sure. Okay, I can go ahead and answer it. So according to that slide, those are daily projections. So with each day, we project that we'll transport about 5 women. So we're using two bicycles in that one particular community, and these are daily projections. So each day, our projection is that we'll transport 5 pregnant women from their homes to their clinics.
Is this only for the period of the pilot, or do you think this is going to be sort of the numbers that you're looking at always?
This is just for the period of pilot, which is 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We still have time for more questions.
I'll go, Evelyn. Thank you very much for the presentation. So you mentioned about the communication with SMS. Is that a project? Is that part of your project that you're communicating to inform the women of their pregnancy?
Yes. So using an SMS, we're already doing that. It's something we started when we were doing as an NGO. So now as we have moved to social enterprise, we've added the new concept, which is the logistics. So we're still using the aspect of SMSs. Thank you.
Great. If there is any other questions, we still have a few more minutes. Okay, well, congratulations, Evelyn. You did a great job. And now we have our final presentation of today. Last but not least, Isaac presenting Prime Sage Innovation Center. Okay, we see your video.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, so I'll share my screen very quickly. There we go. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, you can start whenever you're ready.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Isaac from Prime Sage Innovation Center. And I'd like to start by asking you to guess. This is a stadium, right? But it's not a football match, and it's also not a concert. This is 125,000 people in a 60,000 capacity stadium. And what they are doing there, what they are there for is to write an aptitude test for job entry in the Nigeria Immigration Service. And guess what? 125,000 people are showing up for job roles that are not up to 1,000. This is the case of unemployment in Nigeria. Every time there is a call for application, the number of people applying always supersedes the number of roles that are available. Let me share some statistics with you. Nigeria is currently has the second highest unemployment rate in the world at 35%. This is as at the end of 2021. I am a human resource expert, and in my years of recruitment experience, I found out that the unemployment problem was there, but a much bigger problem was unemployability. I found out that it was hard to fill roles. Therefore, Nigerian graduates from public universities or public tertiary institutions were mostly unemployable. They did not have the necessary skills that are needed to thrive in the workplace. And guess what? In Nigeria, 600,000 graduates are produced from university and polytechnic every year. And the statistics in the Vanguard newspaper says that 80% of them will be unemployed for the first 5 years. So unemployment is a very huge challenge here in Nigeria. Now at Prime Sage Innovation Center, what we're doing is that we're providing free employability training and mentorship support for unemployed and underemployed youth, especially graduates from the ages of 18 to 35. And why we're doing this is because we want them to be able to get decent jobs that are befitting their qualifications so that they can take care of themselves and their families, but also to reduce the negative statistics of unemployment in Nigeria. That is our target. What is our competitive advantage? Our competitive advantage is basically the fact that, okay, we provide training, but more than just training, support. Now, I know a lot of our competitors, or I know a lot of people, or NGOs especially, that provide employability training for beneficiaries here in Nigeria. But one thing I've noticed is that most of them provide these trainings as one-off trainings. But we are usually there to hold the hands of our beneficiaries from the application stage up to the point where they're able to get the jobs. So it is both training and support. And what I'm bringing to the table is basically my HR and recruitment experience. So this is our business model. So Prime Sage Innovation Center is originally a training company. So we provide training and recruitment services to corporate organizations, and then part of the profit of that we get from the training is what we channel into what we call the Job Up project. The Job Up project is now the part where we provide free employability training for fresh graduates or unemployed graduates in Nigeria. So we have a profit source and then we have an impact source. Our impact so far, through the NYSC, we've been able to reach, NYSC is the National Youth Service Scheme. We have reached out to over 3,000 people in 5 states. We also wrote an ebook in order to increase our reach, and that ebook has been shared 1,250 times across through emails, Facebook, and then LinkedIn. We've had over 23 physical trainings. We've had 30 online trainings. We've had 20 traction testimonies are actually testimonies of people who were not getting invited for interviews before after several applications, and now after attending our trainings are beginning to get interviews. And then we've also had 12 successful job placements. Here are 2 of our success stories. I remember Bukola called me one time and said, Isaac, I'm about to apply for a job and I don't even know what to do. And we're able to take her through the CV writing stage. After a month, she got invited for the job, and we were able to train her for the interview. She got the job, and she's now the communications officer of Alliance Global Group. The same thing applies to Samuel Ochi. For scaling, by June 2022, we want to be able to set up a virtual learning classroom. This will help us complete the post-COVID transition from physical to training online. So here in Nigeria, training is pretty much quickly moving from physical trainings to online trainings. And for us to be able to do this more effectively, or to be able to transition, we need to set up what we call a virtual learning classroom. And that is our aim for June 2022. By November 2022, we want to be able to reach 5 new states. We've been able to cover 5 states, but we want to be able to reach 5 new states. By November 2025, we want to become an intermediate training academy that serves as an intermediary between school and labor market. And by December 2030, what we're aiming at eliminating is basically unemployment. So we want to be able to build a hub and an incubator program that tackles unemployment by training youth for success in career and entrepreneurship. Now, the next project that we have is basically the setting up of the virtual classroom. And if we have $1,000 from our investors, these are the things that we're going to get in order to be able to set up the virtual training classroom. And the picture there shows us what the virtual training classroom will look like. We've had partnerships with NGOs and government parastatals with which we've used to create impact in our community. These are the main. We have 10 volunteers, but we have 2 full-time staff, and that is myself and Stephanie. Stephanie is our program manager and digital marketing executive. Thank you for listening. I'm glad to take any question.
Thank you, Isaac. Great job. Now, Pratim, please.
Great presentation, Isaac. Really appreciate that. I would like to know that how are you targeting your audience? So do you have any services catered for people with supposed disabilities, or maybe target people with third gender as well? So how do you scale that?
So basically, our targets are basically Nigerians from ages 18 to 35 who are from public schools. People from the private universities are doing very well, but the public universities here in Nigeria have not really done a good job in training the graduates to be able to be properly integrated into the workplace. They are trained to be technically competent, but the soft skills that are needed and the employability skills that are needed to thrive in 21st century workplace is usually lacking. And so basically, youth between the ages of 18 to 35 from public universities is basically our target at the moment.
Got it, thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
We still have time for a few more questions. Anyone? Fida, yes.
Sure. Thank you, Isaac. Isaac, from the slide where you showed a conversion rate from, I think, 3,000 individuals trained to 12 that were placed or matched with jobs, the conversion is not very high, and I wonder if the problem for the employment problem is lack of jobs? Is the solution in job creation, or is it in solving the the skill set of job seekers?
Okay, so I'd like to explain what I mean by a reach. So reach are not necessarily people who have been mentored by us. The reach are the number of people who have attended one training or the other, or a training where we have facilitated. But I think this is the conversion rate can be understood by the third segment here. We've had 23 physical trainings that have been put up by us, right? 23 physical trainings and 30 online trainings. And from those trainings is where we've gotten our 12 job placements from. You get that now? Yes, yes. So for the second part of your question, it is true that job creation is a solution, but I found out that there is an underlying, and like I said, unemployability is a bigger solution. And the reason why I say that is because I told you I'm a HR person, and many times I've had to do recruitment, and I found out that even when we had vacancies, and then there were tons of applications, it was hard to fill those vacancies with qualified people. So in as much as there's a job creation problem, there's also the challenge where we're not finding people to fit even the available vacancies. And that is the problem we're out to solve.
Yeah, I hear you. We have a similar problem. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
Great. We still have one more question from Shruti.
Thank you so much, Isaac, for the presentation. I'm curious about the impact measurement piece. So I've seen a couple of businesses like this where, usually they measure placement and the number of jobs, which is sort of an output metric. What about, I just want to know if at some point and how you think about sort of the outcome metric, which is not the number of jobs, but the quality of the job. So is that something that you assess when you're making a placement? Is that something, the type of employer?
Yes, but the quality of the jobs, I honestly will not tell you that we've used that as a metric before now for measurement. We're more concerned in getting people who were unemployed, now employed, and at least to get their lives going and to at least improve their current condition. But I think henceforth, we're going to pay attention to also placing, using the quality of job as a metric. So thank you for that. I'll take that as an advice.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be useful during your diligence process while you're even deciding to make the match, so that there is a certain level of protection they're able to give to the people that you are, trying to help at the end of the day. Yeah, but thanks for the presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Zico, for your presentation. This was our last presentation of the UNOSEN Global Fellowship Cohort 7. Honestly, I just want to say thank you and congratulations to all of you. As I mentioned earlier, this is a great celebration of beautiful, amazing, fantastic entrepreneurs that have put so much energy and so much work in the past 6 months. So I just want to congratulate all of you, and I'll keep repeating 1,000 times, for me, you're all winners. I can never choose one of you because you're just absolutely amazing. But we do have prizes and we do need to choose someone to get these prizes. So now I'm going to share my screen with the link and the QR code that you can access to choose your favorite pitch from this session. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to start voting. So please, everyone on YouTube, make sure that you click on this QR code with your camera or type in this link on your browser so we can see who is the winner from the audience's choice. I'm going to ask the team to please also copy paste this link in the chat on the YouTube channel and here for everyone to vote. And while you are voting to select your favorite, because I won't do it, I'll tell you a little bit more about our prizes. So we're going to have 3 winners. That will be the 3 top scores from our judges. So this is considering both sessions. So all 36 social entrepreneurs who pitched. The first prize will get $1,000 to invest in their social business, plus $5,000 in Oracle for Startups Cloud credits, including an exclusive account manager, mentorship, and access to a global network of customers for 2 years. They will also win $1,000 in LinkedIn Premium credits, which is amazing, and a free pass to attend the Change Now Summit that will happen in Paris. So these are the prizes for the first, second, and third prize. And as I mentioned, we also have the best speech for each session selected by our fantastic audience. So we have over 350 people watching. So including the people on the Zoom chat, over 400 people watched the speeches today. So we're just incredibly excited for this. And the winner of this session will get $2,000 in Oracle for Startups Cloud credits, $1,000 in LinkedIn Premium credits as well, and we'll get the chance to also go to Change Now Summit in Paris. In addition to these fantastic prizes, we also have this long-going partnership with One Young World and the Citigroup, where we'll choose the most committed fellow, that the one that has showed most engagement, that showed up to all of our meetings, and there wasn't a little number of meetings. There was a lot of meetings, a lot of activities, a lot of hours put into the program. So the most engaged person will get a free trip to the UK to go to the One Young World Summit with all expenses covered. So meals, accommodation, flights, everything, and will get a fantastic experience at the event. So I want to check now with the team if we have the results.
I think we can give some minutes.
Okay, the team is saying, not yet, Marcela, you're too anxious. So I do have one more slide here for you guys. If you are interested in also joining the UNOS and Youth Fellowship, in having this great experience connecting with social entrepreneurs from all around the world, you can go to our website and subscribe to our mailing list. So you get a chance to know when our next cohort opens. Okay, a few more minutes. I want to say again how proud I am of all of you. I have no words. Well, I have many words. I can't stop talking, but yeah, I'm super proud of all of you. Okay, haha, I know already who the winner is. Okay, just a few more seconds. We're preparing something for you guys. I also have a little surprise for you. I think you'll be very excited about the surprise. So just wait a few more seconds and you will be very pleased. Yes. Okay. Are we ready, team? Can I share my screen? Just waiting for the comms team to give me the go ahead so I can share my screen with all of you. Okay, it's time. It's time. I get so excited with prizes. I know I love all of you. I know you're all fantastic, but getting these partnerships and getting stuff for you that you all deserve so much more. And I wish we could give you so much more. So we put a lot of effort into this. And I'm excited to say that the winner for today's session, the chosen one from our amazing audience that's on YouTube watching us live, that have been with us for almost 3 hours. I gotta say, the audience's pick is Rocio. Rocio, founder of Remora Chile. Congratulations, Rocio. We're so excited, so excited. And I also have something fantastic to tell you, that we have already cleared the votes from our judges, and I do have the winners from the final pitch competition. So I'm going to announce to you guys exclusively now who the 3 winners are. Are you ready for it? Because I'm not. I'm too excited for this. Okay, so I won't be any longer. I just want to say again, congratulations to all of you. This cohort has been amazing. I'm still in shock of how much it grew and developed throughout all of these months. It's been amazing to watch you grow. And I also want to remind you that once you join Yunus and Youth, you're in for life. So you're now a part of the alumni network, together with over 300 social entrepreneurs from all around the world. You'll never get rid of us. We'll be with you and supporting you in any way that we can until the end of time. So it doesn't matter if you move on to starting something new, if you continue with this business, if you create a bunch of other businesses, we'll always be here, and we want you to come back as well and give back to this amazing community. I see that the chat is going crazy with the suspense, so I won't I won't continue this any longer. So this is the first time ever that we are announcing the winner of the final pitch live. This is the first time that we have been able to get all the scores from all the judges, everything on time, to be able to do this live. So, this is so exciting. I want to say that the best pitch, all of you were the best pitch, you know, like, I'm not going to say that anyone is the best pitch. Okay, now I'm going to stop kidding around. The person, the social entrepreneur who all of our judges, we've had today 10 fantastic social impact investors and specialists from all continents joined us today to evaluate, to ask questions, and to score these fantastic presentations. The first prize goes to Sarah, founder of Boca Eats. Sarah, I'm so proud of you. Second prize goes to Pratik, founder of Shazam Nepal. And third prize, Priyal, founder of Stand We Speak. I'm so excited. Sarah, are you here?
Thank you.
Sarah, you deserve this and so much more.
Thank you very much. I don't see it coming.
But the first one.
Sarah is the first one. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Pratik, I think Pratik is also here with us. Pratik, you got second prize. It's also fantastic.
Hey.
It was
Let's
so
go.
close. Pratik, congratulations. So proud of you.
Thank you, Marcela.
I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you all so much for being here with us. This has been 6 hours of pitching and questions and answers, but this is the least that we can do to celebrate this amazing journey. So thank you all so much. Thank you to the judges again. Thank you to our mentors. And we're incredibly happy to have you here with us, and you're all part of the Yunus and You family. So have a great rest of your days, and let's celebrate all of this development and growth and accomplishment. So congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, Marcela.